Hey everyone, and welcome back to Stonehearth. We are going to be capping off the southern section of our town today. I want to get started on the gatehouse. The gatehouse, of course, being the main entryway into the town. And we're going to start with just a simple foundation here. And hopefully we'll be able to put some turrets inside this structure to be able to kind of automatically defend this. So I don't have to so much worry about getting my army out here. Okay, so 4x4 towers, I think are going to be pretty good. This is just going to be a standard looking gatehouse, something that you might even see in, say, a game very similar to maybe Stronghold or, you know, any other fantasy style city builder simulation type of game. I'm going to increase the width of these. So yeah, it's a standard gatehouse, 4 towers on it. There will be a path along the center, which I can actually kind of change, I guess, just to make it look a little different inside. There we go. And of course, this will be just simply connected up to the main road. There might be a side room or two. We'll put some turrets on the ground floor here just to assist with that. Now, the walls, going to be a little interesting. I'm going to try and make a gate, but inside that gate we'll inset a door. Simply, there's no way to design a gate itself in this game. A simple door might do, almost as if there was a small access door inside of the larger main siege-like doors. So let us design the first kind of wall around here. Very simple. Nothing too surprising about this. This was just going to be the first kind of floor. The upper floor that we might end up doing will be a little bit different. We can't really use the wall tool simply because the wall tool will be too tall of an item. I don't want this gatehouse to be completely gigantic. I just need it to be slightly taller than 1 wall height, as the walls surrounding the town will just use this wall tool, as it is going to be the simplest and easiest way to do the exterior defensive battlements. So let us cap that off, and then here we'll just select the floor real quick, so I'm not going to accidentally change the color of some other walls. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a door there. I might have to actually go back and make this whole front wall a thing. Now, sadly, there's no way to delete a wall in Stonehearth, so I actually have to go back all the way here. Not a big deal, just something to keep in mind. If you guys are playing Stonehearth as well, do try to keep doors and things in mind when you're laying out these walls. Upper floors, windows, things like that cannot be placed on just normal block by block building techniques. They have to be kind of the wall tool. That's a real limitation of Stonehearth at the moment. Something that really does bother me, but it's not something that you can't really plan or work around anyways. Okay, so we got that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select the wall itself, and then we're going to switch it to a wood. Same thing with this one. And the reason being, of course, is that we can decorate the wooden texture very quickly to make it kind of look like a door, a large castle door-like structure. And in the meantime, we can just put a door here. Now, obviously, this is not going to center if we use a double door, so how about we just use the fine reinforced door? That's okay. Obviously, it would be nice if there was something better, but oh well. Can I get a vertical window here? I can, but that'll allow people to go inside without having to bust down this door, which is not something we want. So we will try a simple window here on either side, and on either side we'll put a defensive turret that will hopefully be able to shoot out these little windows and dispatch any monster that might be attacking the door itself, which might be okay. And after that we can, I guess, put one on the front as well. That's not too big of a deal. Let's go ahead and kind of copy the design on either side. That way we can just copy and paste the building in any direction and have it work after the blueprint is made. It's just for ease of access purposes more so than anything. Alright, so we got the 2 front gates there. Let's go ahead and... I'm almost tempted to make this too tall. Which I can bring across like that, and then do some type of decoration maybe over the door to kind of separate it from the rest of the structure. And then maybe what I can also do is the exterior might be taller, and then we can just do a pointed roof on the interior. Something similar to, say, the barracks in Warcraft 3. If memory serves correctly, it just has kind of an exterior battlement, and then the interior has a roof. Very similar to this, but the roof is going to be more in line with the exterior battlement. Okay, so we got that stuff down. Let us go ahead and grab the floor tool here. We will then, actually the floor tool is not gonna be well, we can only put walls on top of a floor, kind of a problem with it. So let us, we can quickly add a small layer onto this wall, going all the way around. Always hit the support columns first. I find that to be kind of the quickest way to add a little floor section. Even in Minecraft, you know, going back and making sure your columns go all the way up to the roof line can make your buildings look a lot better. And it's always good to take the columns up first anyways, as that's just how things are constructed, and will hopefully you won't forget, essentially. So we got all that. Let us put the floor of the towers down, and we can do this all the way across. This is kind of the simple pathway going around all the battlements. Alright. Man. Okay, so we got that. Let us change the color of this real quick to the wood as well. That way it looks like a very tall door that could possibly be open. And then we'll kind of seal that off a little bit, just using some normal blocks. That way it's not just a full wall of wood. So we'll go on the interior like so, and give ourselves a little peek. Alright, what color roof? You know, let's do a blue roof. Since it did kind of reference Warcraft 3 a little bit, they also used a blue roof, so we might as well do the same thing. I don't see anything wrong with that. Give it a little bit of an overhang. Okay. Boy, this is it's a weird looking structure. Maybe once we add the battlements, might be able to save it a little bit. Battlements, we'll just use the really dark gray here. That way it can contrast with the walls themselves. And whenever I do the corners, I go ahead and... Oh boy, that's not quite an even count. I guess these ones will have to do like so. I think the problem with the structure right now is that it's so boxy. There's not a lot of stuff going on with it. And so maybe it'd be best to kind of design this front little thing first. And this might also give the front door almost like an arched look. Okay, that ain't bad. We're gonna even change that up a little bit. Grab this as the foundation again on the floor. Move that out. And then it might just be good overall to put the battlements on the outside of the top here. That way it's just not perfectly in line with the walls itself. And what that's going to do is essentially give a little jut outwards and give the top part a little bit of extra width compared to the main walls, and then we can give the bottom a bit of a foundation to kind of widen those out, which will hopefully help as well. So let's do that. Let us first do the back here. Let's see, I believe it's up to, and then a 45-degree top. All right. Quick enough. Delete this so we can put the floor back down. And I could even do something on the sides to make them one wider as well. Yeah, we'll just keep going with it and see. Things can always be edited and changed a little bit. So we will jut these out. Creating something a little bit more bulky. I mean, I already like this more. Problem being is that there's some weird kind of spots with this. As it slightly messes up the block count, but that's not too bad of a problem to have. This is one of those times where I kind of wish I had copy and paste in Stonehearth. That wouldn't be a bad thing. The fronts are obviously going to be a little different because it's not quite a square building, but that might add a little bit of variety, at least enough of variety to be somewhat interesting. go. And you can even give it large supporting columns on the side of the walls. That might be something we might look at adding after all these battlements. Boy, this is kind of just the most basic gatehouse structure one could definitely make. Okay, how do we do the interior here? We went over to, did this space. You could even add a little wooden section just beneath the wood, the stone here. That might give you a bit of a material difference. So we'll do that. Let's go ahead and increase the foundation pretty much all the way around except for the door. And also give the bottom a little bit of more weight to it. That way it won't be so weird looking on top. Alright, that's relatively quick. We had to add the staircase from the interior, which wouldn't be too bad to do. You know, we might even just do the whole exterior wall here this episode. So let us tell you what, we're gonna add some larger little structures here. That looks like they're really holding a lot of the weight. Now the way the wall of the town is gonna have to connect onto the gatehouse is gonna have to be a little bit custom, especially for the main towers as well. Okay, let us do something like this. There you go. And once you have a pattern, you kind of decorate the side of this, it starts looking a little bit more unique. You can even add tall windows here. Something a little bit more arrow slit looking. And these tall ones, you know, you don't have to really worry about monsters getting to these. I would put some flags, but every time I add a flag to a building, it feels like it doesn't really do its job, and it might cause problems with the building itself. So that's the little gatehouse. I mean, I didn't want to do this overly elaborate gatehouse for the town, just simply because we have a smaller town. It's not really super high fantasy. So we can, let's add some wooden elements just over the door here. And maybe even these sides. Just for some color. Having a completely gray building is a little boring. Okay, delete that. And then maybe just a reference of a chimney. Because technically you need some people stationed in these type of structures. Normally there might even be an upper floor so that people, if they're inside the gatehouse, they might be able to throw things down at them. And that's why gatehouses generally have a front door and a back door. Basically buying you the most time possible. And also usually there's not an entrance to this upper area, except for outside. So that if they take the gatehouse, they can't get up on your walls or anything. They have to go out the other side. So maybe that's something to keep in mind when we start designing the walls. We might make a little staircase rather than having it on the interior here. It definitely kind of looks like Warcraft 3 if you think about it. It's kind of funny. I mean, it's smaller than the stables, which is kind of cute. So let's go ahead and spawn this in. Go to build mode, Control C and IB for insta build. I'll spawn that in. So there is the gate, and then what I'm also going to do is see about laying down any turrets. Do I have any left? I have some, but not really the right ones that I need. Let's check our engineer real quick, because they should be making and maintaining these, but it looks like they're not. So we're gonna maintain 2. And open this up again, make sure it's turned green. Okay, it has. So they will be maintaining it. A little odd that he wasn't already, but it's just one of those things I might have forgotten about. Let's bust the walls back up here and keep on building. Let's design the tower real quick. First things first, though, I got to save this. Small gatehouse. It's a small one. I don't need to say it's the main gatehouse by any means for other maps. And then let us design a small tower. So the towers will be about as tall as the gatehouse here. Which is a 6x6, but then it will have a staircase in there. So let's get our foundation. So 6x6. And I might even add little cones on it. Like if you think on our Planet Coaster kind of gatehouse there, we might do something similar to that. It has kind of a wooden roof on top holding kind of a roof above, as I accidentally misclick off the building. Okay, so that is roughly the same height. I need to do that little foundation bit again for the floor here. And that should be, yes, that's the same height as the other tower, but the difference being is that beyond the little floor that we're going to have on top, we're going to have this little wooden spire, I think. So we're going to have the wooden corners go up here. Go in as well. And then we'll put a little blue spire on top of this. Okay, let's delete the little supporting blocks here. And then go to our blue color. Make this go all the way around. We'll make this section too tall. We'll go in one here. That'll be too tall. Same with that. And then we'll have a little bit of an overhang, of course. Gotta add these little elements on here. And even in the middle, just so it looks a little bit more pointy rather than a little flat. Now these wooden bits will need to be removed and changed to blue, just so we don't have any wood exposed. And there is a guard tower. Let us add the battlement section, which actually looks like it's gonna hold up part of the roof. In fact, these ones, because this is just pure defense structure here, we'll have a 3 tall kind of battlement, just so it's a little different. Now, obviously, these sides here, we're going to... Well, actually, there should be a door, to be honest. That should be wall height. And then no staircase on the towers, or staircase on the towers? That's the main question right now. Let's give it the foundation. Even here, again, doing all sides. As we lay out the main wall, we can change each tower to fit. And we will just throw an arrow slit on the front and the back. That ain't bad. And to bring the wood across, we will just kind of drop them down right here. And there we go. So that's a little guard tower as well. So we're not gonna spawn this in by any means. We're gonna save it as a guard tower. Okay. And then we're gonna remove it after making sure it's still in here. Okay, good. It's in there. And now at this point, we can place them down. So does this kind of line up specifically? No, not really. Not in any good way, at least. Well, it actually kind of does line right, pretty much straight on. We'll just walk it out a little bit as a test there. Okay. Now we just need a door, possibly. Ugh, nope. Doesn't look like we can put a door here, after all. So let's see, how are we going to get people up there? Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and figure out the wall and connecting sections, and then we'll just come back after it's all built. Alright, so this is the layout I decided on with the towers, walls, and the keep combination here. As you can see, we definitely have low-lying walls, which is fine. I mean, it's definitely way taller than any monster can get over, and I think it fits kind of the scale of our town, as it said before the cut. This is, of course, the keep that we built before. Access points only on the front and back here. And I'm still waiting for the engineer to finish constructing enough, I almost said pylons, this isn't StarCraft, this is Stonehearth, so he needs to build some more turrets there. These are the towers all laid out with connecting walls between them. You can see it actually seals off this whole southern entrance now. The way I connected it to the lake, though, is I just simply sloped a little exterior piece. Now, monsters can't swim or anything, so really they have no way into here. So I don't really have to worry about that, which is a nice little bonus. Normally, you might be able to maybe connect the wall to a structure if things are able to swim in the long run. The towers themselves, how I managed to get them to work are I used windows as doors because this wall is a little too thin to fit an actual door into them, which is fine. Not a big deal. Windows work just fine as long as it's the too tall version. And then there is a little floor on the interior there, a ladder up to the upper section, and it's like that on every single little tower along here. So all of these are enterable and things. The way you get on top of the gatehouse is I have some back kind of access stairs here onto the walls, and then some simple ladders up on top of that. There will be some torches laid out, even some flags, just kind of marking the entrance to the town. I've connected the gatehouse to the road, and I think that's it for us for this episode of Stonehearth. The town is definitely capping off for sure. There's some more filler detail to add and things, but I'm sure you guys are getting rather antsy for the proper castle, so for sure I'm going to be starting that next episode. Go ahead and leave a like if you guys enjoy Stonehearth. I really enjoy Stonehearth. It's probably one of my favorite games out, and I definitely support and follow its development at stonehearth.net. Go ahead and leave a comment down below on what you guys think of our wall and towers and things. Go ahead and leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode.